The storm rolled across the Montana plains like a wounded animal, dragging wind and dust across the ranch as if trying to tear the land apart. Emily Hayes held her backpack tied to her chest, stumbling toward the barn where she sought shelter. She had come to the ranch that morning for a photography assignment, her first paid gig, hoping to capture the rugged beauty of the land. But she hadn't expected a storm to hit so suddenly. When she pushed open the barn door, she nearly collided with a tall man in a weather-worn coat, his face calm, his voice steady despite the thunder that shook the earth. "You're soaked," he said, nodding at her trembling hands. "Come inside. Sit down." She tried to catch her breath, shivering as the barn door slammed behind her. "Where do I sit?" she asked, trying to find her footing in the darkness. He pointed toward the back corner, where something large was covered by a thick canvas tarp. "There," he said. "It's big, but it'll hold you. Just sit on it. You'll be fine." She hesitated, the softness of his tone clashing with the roughness of his words. Too big. Sit on what? But she was freezing, exhausted, and desperate for warmth. So she obeyed, walking toward the massive shape. The tarp stirred slightly, as though something underneath it breathed. She paused. "Are you sure? Just sit," the rancher repeated calmly, stepping closer. Emily lowered herself onto the tarp, expecting a crate or bale of hay, but it shifted beneath her, warm and solid, almost alive. She gasped and jerked upward. What is this?" she cried. The man knelt beside her, lifting the edge of the tarp just enough for her to see glossy feathers and trembling wings. A massive golden eagle, bigger than anything she had ever imagined, lay injured beneath the covering. Emily's eyes widened as the bird gave a weak cry. "He crash-landed during the storm," the rancher said softly. "He needs body warmth to survive the night. I can't be in two places at once. There are calves trapped in the riverbed. You sitting there keeps him alive. You're his heat source." Emily swallowed hard, emotion cracking her voice. She had come for photos, not responsibility. Not life hanging by a thread under her shaking hands. The storm roared louder, but inside the barn, the world shrank to quiet breaths, hers and the eagle's, as realization washed over her. She wasn't just sheltering from the storm. She was saving something wild, something rare. And she had only just stepped into the story her life had been waiting for. If you're watching this, stay with the journey. Subscribe for more stories that remind you how unexpected moments can change everything. Emily remained seated atop the tarp, holding her hands close to the eagle's body as warmth slowly seeped back into its shivering frame. Every so often it lifted its great head, golden eyes flicking open just enough for her to see a fighting spirit refusing to give in. She whispered soft encouragements, her fear melting into a strange, protective tenderness. Outside, lightning slashed the sky, illuminating the edge of panic creeping across the ranch. Minutes felt like hours. The rancher, whose name she still didn't know, rushed in and out of the barn, drenched, breathless, but determined. Every time he returned, he checked the eagle first. Then he would give her a nod, the kind of nod that made her feel braver than she actually was. At one point, Emily's throat constricted with emotion. "Why? Why save him?" she asked. The rancher paused, wiping rain from his forehead. "When I was a kid," he said quietly, "my father used to say that nature gives you one moment in your life that shows who you really are. I missed mine once. I won't miss another." His voice trembled, not from fear, but from a memory he didn't explain. Emily felt her own chest tighten. She had been running from her own moment, her failed career start, her fear of not being good enough, her belief that life didn't have room for someone like her. But now she was literally providing life to a creature that depended on her warmth alone. It humbled her. The storm eventually softened into a steady rain, and the rancher returned with blankets and a lantern. He knelt beside her, lifting the tarp. The eagle shifted but no longer trembled violently. "You did good," he said softly. "He's going to make it." Emily couldn't stop the tears slipping down her cheeks. Not from fear anymore, but from the overwhelming feeling that for the first time in a long time, she mattered. As dawn broke over the mountains, the eagle gave a sudden powerful stretch, wings unfurling beneath the tarp. Emily jumped back as the majestic bird rose unsteadily but determined. The rancher opened the barn doors, letting the golden light flood in. The eagle paused, looked back at Emily, just for a moment, and then launched itself into the morning sky. Emily watched it rise higher and higher, her heart soaring with it. The rancher placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Told you it was too big," he said with a small smile. "Most folks would have run, but you didn't." She smiled through her tears. "Maybe this was my moment." "It was," he said. "And you answered it." Emily left the ranch that morning with more than photos. She carried proof that courage often finds us in the quiet places, the unexpected corners, the moments we never saw coming. And for everyone watching this story, remember, your defining moment might be waiting just around the corner. Don't miss it. Subscribe to the channel for more emotional, powerful stories that remind you who you really are.